Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone is having fun out there, wherever you are in the world. I'm Andrew Esquire. Welcome to the Legal Mindset, where we help you be your own judge. Back in the AM time, obviously, I've got to wake up here. I'm in Texas. It's kind of throwing me off because not only am I not in the time zone I was in most of the time, I was here in Miami, which is Eastern. So that 1 hour makes a big fucking difference. But I'm not in Korea, which is honestly what I'm used to dealing with when I'm streaming. So it throws me off, but it's good to see everybody here in the chat. And it's great to see everyone here from around the world. I see we've got people already checking in from where they're at. And on these morning streams, I do like to hear where you're at. So it is really cool for you guys to check in. For example, I see we got a Cincinnati, Ohio in the house. We got a Berlin, Vigets, how's it going? New Zealand, what's going on? I've got a lot of great people in the chat today. I also see that C. Goody is back and his wrench has been restored. So what's up, C. Goody? Good to see you. So we got a lot of members in the house. I see Sweethearts here in the chat. If you guys join the membership, you get the fancy badge and all the emojis. And yeah, I hear it's Johnny's birthday today. So happy birthday to Johnny, indeed. We're going to have some good news about a lot of things, but good news for Johnny, I think, all around, frankly. I think Johnny is having a good week this week. That's my take on things. That's my general take on things. So yeah, hope you guys are doing well out there. Seeing more of you check in. Caligari, Italy, England, Brussels. Got some more Kiwis in the house. Missouri. We got here Scandinavia, Virginia, UK, Maine. Nice. Easter fucking Island, really? That sounds made up, but okay, I'll believe you. Jacksonville, Florida, Dirty Jacks, the Dirty Jacks. Johannesburg, Windsor, St. Lucia. Awesome. Good to see everybody. Middle Tennessee, what's up? All right. So today we're going to talk about what's been going down with Johnny Depp's legal team. So we already watched the horrible video from Elaine. And perhaps at the end of this, if we need like a juxtaposition, like here's what you shouldn't do as a lawyer versus like here's what you need to do as a lawyer, we can watch that. My chair was like rolling over this cord, so I was like, what the fuck is going on here, guys? Listen, it's still early. I only have orange juice. I don't even have coffee. I just have this paltry Minute Maid orange juice. This is not going to wake me up. I love oranges from Florida. I'm Floridian, but I need some like direct mainline caffeine right now. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie. That being said, Soy Mafia says Andrew is hired to restitution on claims and assets. Well, if you're trying to hire me, I probably don't do the type of law that's going to be able to do anything in this case. But I do appreciate it. Sweetheart sent a 149 super sticker. Thank you for that. I definitely need the mega pint. I do need the mega pint of coffee. Like that's something I do need at all. Do you have a pet alligator? No, I do not. Although I have eaten alligator before. It is quite tasty. All right, so let's get into some news about the team. And now there's one thing that everybody has been very interested in. And this is something we've been focused on, I think, throughout the trial. And that is Camille Vasquez. What is her dating status? Is she single? Is she available? Is she hooking up with Johnny? What's going on there? Well, turns out that her boyfriend's been doxxed pretty much. So this is a little bit of gossip to get us going. We read a lot of memes last night. There weren't a lot of good memes, so I figure we'll start with something fun, lighthearted. So Camille Vasquez's boyfriend is apparently this dude right here, this bro right here, Mr. Owen right here, and he apparently, you see him down here, he works as an executive at WeWork. So a lot of people said that he was some real estate tycoon. He works with WeWork and he's focused on real estate. I knew that he was not a real estate guy in Florida. People had said that because I know all of the real estate people in Florida, and yeah, it wasn't him. He is not a real estate guy in Florida. Just because he works on real estate in-house doesn't mean he's a real estate developer. He's just a guy who works at WeWork. He's pretty high up, but he's not the CEO, CFO, or anybody at the top of the pyramid. He's just an executive. So he's in senior management-ish, but he's not the CEO or CFO. He's pretty well off, though, I imagine. So best of luck to them. I think his name is Edward Owen. But essentially, he was at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel outside of Virginia. So he was hanging out there. He was hanging out with Camille. So that's when things got started here, and that's how they got doxxed. So he looks like a pretty decently good-looking guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, hashtag not my cup of tea. But yeah, I'll let you ladies in the chat decide if you think that's an appropriate ship for Camille. And I thought her response yesterday, if you guys didn't have a chance to check out my review of the Good Morning America interview, check that out. Go look at that, see what I said about that. But I think Camille did a fantastic job in that one. I think the contrast between her and Elaine could not be greater. So let's jump into this short clip. It's only 5 minutes, but I want to go through this today. And I want to look at what Ben Chu's interview with Shinlei. And I'm going to be honest with you. Shinlei seems like a very nice girl, but she doesn't always have the hardest hitting of questions, right? She's a very beautiful girl, very nice apparently, but her questions are not always very hard hitting. So don't expect too much. We're going to walk through this Court TV interview. Once again, this is a fair use analysis. I'm going to add my commentary to this. We're going to pause it. We're going to talk about it. So, let's strap in here and let's look at this. Let's take a look at this. Okay, actually, hold on one second. Got to make sure that the audio is good on this because I will not be called by a boomer one more time, you guys. That's not acceptable in my book. At all. All right, there you go. Should have full audio. Let me know if it's a little low. It's cranked all the way up.
Talk about Heard's lead attorney, Elaine Bredhoff. She made some post-verdict interviews as well last week. In fact, I was supposed to sit down with her. She had to cancel last minute, something urgent in court.
I don't think Shinlei is believing her bullshit, by the way, here. Look at her eyes when she talks about her canceling. I'm going to rewind this a little bit. I'm going to rewind this a little bit. Look at Shinlei when she talks about her canceling. So I don't think she buys that bullshit. Chanley, whatever. People say it's Chanley. I don't care. It's Shinlei, Miss Blue Dress. We'll go with that.
Lead attorney Elaine Bredhoff. She made some post-verdict interviews as well last week. In fact, I was supposed to sit down with her. She had to cancel last minute, something urgent in court. We haven't yet rescheduled.
Yeah, she doesn't believe that shit. She doesn't believe that shit at all. But Elaine ducked out. Elaine ducked out of an interview, stood her up. I said it's probably the first time that she's been stood up in her life. She's the, by the way, those who don't know, maybe I've been following, she's the Court TV reporter. She was the one in the courtroom during the trial. And she was the one who was looking usually particularly foxy. I'll try to find a photo of her from the trial. I think she pinned it to her page because people were just asking who the woman is in the particular dress. I think she was in the green dress. Here it is. Let me show you guys. This is her right here, right? And this is the one that got pinned because it went viral. Which is the woman in green the woman in green at the trial looks like someone with a spicy secret, like she has a fake name at Starbucks or killed her husband in her sleep. See, that's her right there, right? So she was in there most of the trial. Now people comment that she wasn't in there the entire time. She's Miss Arkansas, by the way. People are pointing out she's Miss Arkansas. So clearly she's a very attractive woman. Like, that's undebatable, right? So she was in there. Some people were giving her shit because she wasn't in there the entire time, but that's because she had to give like reports and do other research and do other stuff. So she did have to duck out of the courtroom, but people were giving her shit for that. And we're saying, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And some of her questions in her interviews that she asked previously were kind of weak. She also made some incorrect predictions. She made an incorrect prediction about Amber Heard's team calling Johnny Depp as a hostile witness. That was really interesting. It seems like if she got that information from Amber Heard's team, I think they played her. They used her to scare Johnny's team, I think, on that little bit. So I think she got played there. She also got some other stuff wrong regarding some motions and regarding some of the jury instructions. So she's not perfect, but she managed to land this interview.
But that offer is obviously still out there for her. But I want to give you the opportunity to address some of the things that she did say last week to the media. She claims that your team demonized Amber Heard and suppressed evidence. What's your response?
So asking him to respond to the fucking lies of Elaine Bredhoff here. So because frankly, their legal team went out and lied. And yesterday, they established in their Good Morning America, Good Morning America piece that Elaine and Amber's team are claiming that Johnny's team is being unprofessional. So Amber's now saying, oh, Johnny's legal team shouldn't be out there talking. Well, Amber was the one who sent her team out first. Her team was on The View, right? Her team went out there immediately.
I think it's disappointing that she would say something like that. With respect to suppression of evidence, there was a lot more evidence that came in Fairfax County than ever came in London. And I took that as not being complimentary of our judge, who was a wonderful judge. I just think that's an improper characterization. As far as demonization, the cross-examination of Ms. Heard that was done, I believe, beautifully by Camille Vasquez was not intended to demonize her. It really was predicated on her own words. So the cross-examination was based on statements that Ms. Heard had made, and presenting her with some audios that she herself had made and really asking for her explanation. I don't think that's demonization. I think that's cross-examination.
Right. She points.
Okay, so two things there. That's a little unfortunate pause, but whatever. I'll leave it there. It's not too bad. So two things. So the first part of that is the evidence. So this is a big thing we talked about, and I know I had people on here. I had Jordy on. We were talking about the UK versus US trial. We did that a lot. By the way, speaking of a lot, I just noticed, guys, there are 2,500 of you in the chat right now. That's a lot of you. And if you can smash that like button, if you could do that for Papa Andrew, I would really appreciate it. It would help us out in the algorithm, guys. So if you could smash it real quick. Smash it for Shinlei. Smash it for Shinlei. So she does look feisty in this pause. So the first part was the evidence. What Ben Chu is saying, and what is factually correct, is that more evidence came in during the US trial than the UK trial. In sheer volume, there's far more evidence that came in the US than the UK. Now, there may have been certain evidence that was allowed in the UK that was not allowed in the US because we have different rules. That's understandable. And maybe they can complain because some of the evidence that they wanted in didn't get in. But to say the judge is suppressing evidence is disingenuous. Suppressing, it has a connotation of maliciousness, of hiding something. That's not what the judge is doing. Now the judge is doing perhaps at all. At all. People say that, I'll smash it as long as you never refer to yourself as Papa Andrew again. Okay, you got yourself a deal, Gwen. You got yourself a deal. I'll allow that. I'll allow it. Let's continue with this one.
Points to medical.
Oh, sorry. I forgot one thing. Also, she talked about demonization. So this is a funny thing where Amber Heard's team and Amber Heard and her creepy, nasty PR manager, David Shane, who I see people in the chat. I think Avani said something in the chat, which I think is true, that somebody was being uncomfortable with David Shane. I would believe this because David Shane is a grab ass, and he is alleged to have committed several sex crimes. So that's on him now. And this is Amber Heard's PR manager. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was Shanley that was, or Shanley that was uncomfortable with the behavior of David Shane, because I mean he is a bit of a creep. But the demonization to say that what they're doing is scaring women, is hurting women, it's a mischaracterization. It's a huge mischaracterization. And by the way, shout out to everybody who's just tuning in. I know some people are just joining right now. Artfully Spun just joined from Sydney. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys tuning in at this time. This will be my normal time. So when I'm back in Korea and everything, this is my normal time. I'll be normally at an earlier time in the East Coast of the United States. So it's going to be like 5 or 6 for the East Coast of the United States. But that's fine for us in Asia, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, UK, everybody over there. Let's continue.
Records, text messages from Stephen Deuters, things like that. Would that have made a difference? Can you enlighten us on?
I don't believe any of the evidence that was excluded, and there was evidence excluded on both sides, and you're very familiar. There are rules of evidence that apply. Not everything comes in.
Right.
That was a good move by this one by Ben, because what he did right there was he used, I'll play it one more time.
Are rules of evidence that apply. Not everything comes in.
See, so Ben said there's rules of evidence. You know that there's evidence that apply. And Shanley is like, exactly. You can hear in the background where she's like, exactly. So it's kind of getting the questioner on your side. So it's showing that she actually agrees with Ben here. And he was very clever to do that. See, Elaine and Rottenborn, they don't know how to be amiable. They don't know how to be agreeable. They don't have that option. They're like, if this was an RPG, Elaine's only characteristic is fight, right? That's her only option in the RPG, right? She's got like berserk cast on her. She can just attack. She doesn't know anything else. These guys have so many other tools in their Rolodex. And being nice and assuming the other person is not an evil, horrible person who's asking you questions is so effective.
Right. And suppression may not be the best word, too, that she uses, right? It's inadmissible because of hearsay or it's not relevant.
Exactly. And I think Her Honor, played it right down the middle, was very consistent in her rulings. And I think it's an improper characterization, and perhaps she just misspoke.
See, look at that. Look at what just happened there. So Shanley agreed with him. Shanley made the argument. So she literally said, oh, yeah, it's not admissible because of hearsay or relevance. She made that argument. He didn't even have to make that argument. So that was really good there. Also, Ben Chu gave Elaine the grace and the kindness that they wouldn't do. So he said right there, perhaps it was just a misstatement. He literally gave Elaine an out. Said maybe she just misspoke. Of course, they're never going to take that, right? They're never going to take that and say, oh, no, that's actually what it was. I misspoke. I'm not being unethical. But it was very nice of him. He didn't have to do that, but he did it. Saltron said this hate is overkill at this point. Well, the point is that Amber Heard is going to struggle like this. And look, I kind of wanted to move on from this topic, but guess what? They're still fighting it and still struggling it, and they're still trying to maintain relevance. So it is what it is. Yeah, if you say I like her better than George Stephanopoulos. George Stephanopoulos is a kind of a fucking prick. So I'm not a fan of the Snuffleupagus. So yeah, just to be clear on that one.
Sure. Okay, another thing, Elaine said that this verdict is a huge setback for women. Thinking about reporting domestic violence would send a message that they cannot win. What's your team's response?
I think that's entirely untrue.
And it's good that good pause there. So it's good that he's addressing this, but honestly, the Camille Vasquez response to Good Morning America was like the finishing blow. But this is a good response too.
And Mr. Depp would want people to come forward if they were victims of domestic abuse. So I don't think this is a setback at all for women or men who have been victimized by domestic abuse. And I think this is a victory for truth. I think I don't think it's a setback at all.
Elaine also pointed to
Good pause here, because okay, that is the response you want, because that's the number one, it's an honest response, and number two, it's straightforward. I mean, it's just like it's very much what we want to hear, that the law, the justice system is about truth. It's not about BS, it's not about anything else, it's about truth, right? And that's what it should be about. That's what this process should be about. It should be about finding the truth, seeking the truth. It's not about men or women. He said it's about victims, whether you're a man or a woman coming forward. That's what's important. And you know what? I stand by that. Stand by that. And I wouldn't be surprised. People saying right here to this that Amber is going to double down. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. And that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. Let's see here. Andy, the game maker, said, this live stream's not going to like itself. Andy, oh my God. You're killing me today, man. You're killing me today. You're killing me today. So, of course, Andy, I don't want to let this go, but if you haven't seen, there's a sign. There's a sign that's trending that's been around in a couple places. And this is a sign. This is a sign. And this is what Andy's super chat is referring to. I'm letting you guys in on the joke, right? This is a good one. It makes me laugh. This is my type of humor. So thank you, Andy, for that super chat. We all appreciate it. We all appreciate it. So make sure you smash that like button. Give it some love, and that'll help us out in the algo. Let's continue here.
to the jury as possibly even being tainted by the massive amount of media. This was all over social media, as you probably know, and even blaming the cameras in the courtroom for possibly tainting this verdict. What do you think?
That was almost more disappointing than her statement about evidence being kept out, because I construed that as an affront to the jury. I mean, the jury took an oath, as you know, not to look at social media, and there's no basis that the jury violated their oath. And these are people, and you saw them every day, who gave up 6 weeks of their lives, of their work, of their family, to pay attention not only to the evidence that Mr. Depp put forward, but also to the evidence Ms. Heard put forward. And to cast a shadow on them, I think, was really unfortunate and disappointing.
Yeah, there was a...
So here's the thing. After this case went down, because of what we saw in this case and the back blow of this case, we're going to see a big push against cameras in the courtroom. Now, look, obviously, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. A lot of these are law tubers. They're afraid. They're kind of, I get it. And I've talked about this before. I'll say it one more time. Some people are a little bit more afraid because they're practicing attorneys in particular areas and jurisdictions, and they don't want to say things, right? Because they can get in trouble with the bar. I came out and I've said fuck the American Bar Association and fuck their bullshit, and fuck any court that's standing in the way of truth, or any organization standing in the way of truth. So what they're afraid of, and what a lot of people are afraid of, is they're afraid of wider sweeping rules coming out that ban TV cameras from the courtrooms. They're afraid of states banning TVs from the courtroom. They're afraid of judges banning TVs from the courtroom. And look, I get it. It would be bad for the law tube, right? Because obviously we are doing trials or watching them live. That would be kind of bad. That would be a little bit annoying. But I think that the important thing is that the truth gets out there. And regardless of whether or not we get a live feed or whether we get a playback, as long as we have the ability to look at what is actually happening in the court, I think that's super valuable. I think it's so valuable to be able to review these people and see how they're reacting live. Now, obviously, we can't see the jury. You can't dox the jury. That's never going to be a thing in any American courtroom. But being able to see the witnesses, I think that, to me, I can tell whether a witness is believable or unbelievable by watching them. Yes, you can look at their body language, but even if you don't look You're not a body language expert, right? You don't need to be a body language expert to listen to their tone, to see how they look. And everybody on some level can look at somebody and assess whether they're lying or whether they're telling the truth. And you can also focus on what they're saying. In this particular case, as Ben Chu has pointed out, the biggest enemy of Amber was Amber. Amber decided, she made the choice to tell these tall tales. She made a choice to lie. And by lying, she exposed herself to a harsh cross-examination. That's what cross-examination is for. And I'm laughing here. This is a good comment, which is imagine no cameras for Dr. Spiegel. Exactly. Because here's the thing, what would happen. Remember Dr. Spiegel, Mr. Guy who's licking his lips? Dr. Spiegel, they would make him sound, the mainstream media would make Dr. Spiegel sound like the most professional expert ever. They would make him sound like he was the other, I actually forget the British professor's name. You guys can remind me. The Cambridge professor, I forget his name. But they would make them sound like they're equivalent. And we all know, just looking at them, they are not equivalent. Listening to their testimony, they are not equivalent. But the mainstream media would lie to you and tell you that, oh yeah, the experts, one expert was okay, the other expert was okay. Really, it was a nothing burger. That's what they would say. Versus the fact that we saw Dr. Spiegel. We saw how ridiculous he was. We saw that he was a preposterous person in addition to a ridiculous expert. And nobody believed him. And that's why we need to see it, right? Once again, the camera showed the truth. The camera showed the truth. Omega Ben says, it's going to have to take me to dinner first before I smash. Well, the like button will buy you a margarita at Chili's. I will say that. Jeremy Wormy says, I like Ben, but God, he looks like a Muppet. Hey, I like the Muppets growing up. And it's totally fine. And anybody who, I hope you're not actually whining about objectifying Shanley, not Chanel's, but yeah, absolutely. This is my channel. I do what the fuck I want. Ain't nobody telling me what to do on this channel, which is what it is, guys. All right, let's keep going with this.
The statement even recently that Heard's team released, I'm sure you've also read this, but I want to get your take. The spokesperson for Amber says it is as unseemly as it is unprofessional that Johnny Depp's legal team has chosen to do a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom. What's next? A movie deal and merchandising. That was the latest statement.
Okay. Honestly, though, guys, like she's smiling here, but I kind of want to see a movie. And honestly, if there was a movie, there'd be somebody sexy sitting in the audience playing Shanley or Shanley, right? There'd be somebody sitting in the audience if this was a movie, and they'd be kind of hot. Also, imagine who they would cast as like the LawTube team. So you've got like somebody in there as Runkle, somebody in there as DUI guy, James. They'd have to cast a James. It would be very interesting. For the audience too, but then they'd have to cast Elaine, Rottenborn, Camille. You guys can tell me, like, do you have any casting picks for the people who would play them in the movie? Because I would actually watch the movie. Like obviously, like Rick Moranis would play the judge. I know it's fucked up, but like, okay, it kind of fits, right? I'm trying to think who they could pick. Like, do we have a spicy Latina to play Camille? Who could play Ben Chu? And I guess it's like, is Johnny? I mean, I guess like Johnny could be Johnny, but you kind of got to hire somebody, right? Sweetheart says, for a margarita at Chili's. Thank you. I do love a good marg. I had a good one the other day. I'm still in Texas, guys. So enjoying Mexican food before I go back to, and Tex-Mex before I go back to Korea. Captain Dunsel says, will mainstream media wise up? The people don't need or want the lying BS commentary. I don't know. I think this trial is getting them aware. I'll put it that way. I will put it that way. Little Rascal says, hey, I think this trial will make people think twice about putting a very suspect expert witnesses on the stand. Yes, that has got to be a good thing. Thank you for your content. YouTube lawyers are important. Thank you. I don't think that, and I'm going to say this, guys, and I know this is going to be controversial, and some of the other law tubers, they're going to probably get mad, right? I don't care. I don't give a fuck, right? They can get salty at me. I don't think lawyers are that important. I'm going to say that one more time. I don't think lawyers are that important. What I think is important is the truth. Is the truth. And I'm okay with lawyers to the extent that they are supporting and enhancing the truth. I don't give a shit about lawyers that are going against the truth. We've seen lawyers that are anti-truth. Elaine is anti-truth. She never had to get out here. Elaine, it's not part of her legal duties to be a PR representative. But when you go out here and you are standing against the truth, when you are saying the jury was tainted, when you're saying social media impacted the jury, that's not your duty as a lawyer. You're against the truth. So those lawyers we don't need. But we do need lawyers that are telling the truth. And there are some great ones here on YouTube, you know, and there's some great lawyers here. Some of them are good friends of mine. But when they are lying, lawyers are pieces of shit. They're vile, they're reprehensible, and they're unnecessary. And the problem is there are too many slime ball lawyers. I will take a non-lawyer telling the truth over a lawyer. In fact, look at Tug. Tug is better than perhaps most of us lawyers here. That umbrella guy, he's done more work on the ground and is still doing more reporting on this than most of the lawyers. So I would say, look, we need people who are committed to telling the truth. How about that? How about that? Let's continue.
What's your response to that?
The response to that was one day after the verdict, I believe it was one day after the verdict, Ms. Rittenhouse appeared on national programs to set forth Ms. Heard's position. So this is a response to that.
Okay, so that was, I think, the end of that. And then you get like some comments from Shanley. I'll pause it over her real quick because she's better to look at. I'm just not going to lie. And let me actually minimize this. So I'll get her comments in a second. But I do want to get some of these comments because you guys are hilarious, right? James as himself, James Franco as Johnny Depp, Tom Hanks as Ben Chu. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Ava Longoria as Camille. I like that. The actress who played Dolores Umbridge for Elaine. That one's good. That one's really fucking good. Because obviously Draco Malfoy can play TMZ Draco. Which, by the way, I love that TMZ Draco is like owning the Draco thing. That, and also, like, I remember I've seen other people doing interviews and they put like spicy Draco or Draco in there. So I'm like, yes, I made this happen. This is my thing. I love it. Ben Stiller for Rottenborn. That's pretty good. Kristen Stewart as Amber. Actually, that might actually work. That might actually work. Kristen Stewart as Amber might work. Dr. Curry, one of the old Olsen twins. I can see that. I can see that. Tom Hanks would be good. Tom Hanks would be good. Let's see who else we got here. Mr. Bean as Ben Chu. No, not Mr. Bean. That's too comical right there. That's too comical. Dobby the fucking house elf for Elaine. Oh shit, the best one. Okay, Susan, Steve Buscemi as Dr. Spiegel. This is the winner right here, guys. I gotta see this as a meme. Like, that would be so good. That would be so good. So good. Matthew Broderick. Okay. Yeah, Matthew Broderick as Ben Chu. I can actually see that. I can definitely see that. Selena Gomez could also do it. So a lot of people are saying Eva Longoria. Eva Longoria is like a lot. I think she's older definitely than Camille. But I think Selena Gomez would go better, right? I think they have like a side-by-side here. Yes, there's a side-by-side of both of them, right? So here we go. I think if you look at them, right, here's let me share this photo here so you guys actually see this shit. But if you look at them, I think that like, here's a side-by-side of the two, and there's a side-by-side here. Like, okay, Eva Longoria, to me, Eva Longoria is more my style. I'm from Miami, so my flavor of Latina is more an Eva Longoria flavor. But like, I think Selena Gomez has the hair here. She could do it Camille Vasquez. Like, I think that she could do it, and I think that she's closer to Camille's age than Ava. But yeah, I think they could do that. They could definitely do that in the movie. I think that'd be a good one. I'll allow it. Thank you guys. You guys are good. You guys are good. Andrew making me laugh. Carolyn says Amber can play Elaine. They're one and the same. Also, I'll hit the like when you admit that kangaroos have chlamydia and not syphilis. Oh, it's not kangaroos. Sorry, it's koalas, right? Yes, I was corrected about that. So I am sorry. I'm going to issue a full retraction and an apology to the country of Australia. I was informed afterwards that it is chlamydia, not syphilis. I know that we may sometimes get caught up in STDs and assuming they're all the same thing, but they're not. And so I apologize to the koalas for saying they had syphilis. I do apologize for that. It is indeed chlamydia. Meghan Markle as Camille Vasquez. I've been thinking the whole trial. Pushes kind of rolled. Honestly, I'm going to say no to that. I'm going to veto that because I do not like Meghan Markle, what she has done in the royal family. And by the way, you want to see a good divorce case? It's going to be that one. That's going to be one that's going to be televised. That one's going to hit LawTube. I like Ben, played by Nick Rekieta. Jason Alexander is Hogue. I don't know who Jason Alexander is. I mean, as long as he's got like the kind of squat, like looking, like squat with glasses look, that would be doable, I guess. Keira Knightley is Amber. Nah, Kira's too good for that. Ooh, Jessica Alba for Camille. That's actually a good one. I'll actually take that one. Jessica Alba's pretty good as well. Colin Firth is Ben Chu. I'll allow that. All right. So let's see what Shanley has to say here. Harvey Firestein as Isaac. Let's see what Shanley has to say here. Chanley has to say here about the interview.
Chanley, did you get any feeling for what the nature of the relationship is between the two legal teams? I don't even know if they knew each other beforehand, but is it bad blood, or is it just, hey, we did battle and we move on?
You know, I always have my eye out for inside the courtroom, maybe when the cameras aren't on, when the attorneys arrive in the morning, during a recess. You can see them interacting in the courtroom. You can see them interacting in the hallway. Always professional. They do battle when the jury's in there, right? They each have their position they advocate for. But I'm noticing the attorneys greeting each other, complimenting each other on what they're wearing, shaking hands. And that's important, I think, to carry that professionalism on. And so even though they have...
So here's one thing I don't like about them, and this is why Court TV is a little bit mainstream media. They're giving a very, that's a very tame, neutral thing. She also, notice how she prefaced it, right? Which is why, Court TV, despite the fact they're on the internet, they're still mainstream media. Court TV is mainstream media. They just happen to have gotten the interviews. But make no mistake, they are mainstream media. They are bought and paid for by mainstream interests, by the same mainstream interests that own other interests. So they're no better than any of mainstream media. And that was some bullshit. That was soft. That was like a nothing. That literally told us nothing. That told us nothing at all. And it's like, oh, I watched them. And I'm like, yes, we watched them too. Tell us something we don't know. Give us some actual interaction. Show, okay. And there was this one moment where Elaine shot a glance to Camille, or whatever. Give us the spice, because it was there. We saw it. You're being fake by saying that they're always professional. I guarantee you that mask slipped. Of course we're professional. Of course we try to be professional as lawyers, right? It's what we aspire to be. But there's moments where that slips, and there's moments where you get into the advocacy role, and it's difficult to go out of that role. Lil T says, I think he's going to take the money and give it to a children's hospital and tell the ACLU to fuck off, even though it's not about the money. And I don't think she'll stop. What are your thoughts? A little T, there's actually a news on this that we're going to get to in 1 second that honestly, I don't think anybody has seen this. And this bit of news is how they're really destroying the credibility of Elaine's team, and they're destroying Amber's insinuations. Right? So hang on, little T. This question is going to be answered by proof I'm going to show you in 1 second. As soon as I get past these couple chats here, I want to make sure we're caught up and everybody is feeling appreciated, guys, because I appreciate all 6,000 of you almost. Please make sure you smash that like button, guys. It really helps us in the algorithm. Omega Ben says, what about Zendaya for Camille? I mean, okay, this was a big debate whether Zendaya, people pronounce it differently. Zendaya, some people like Zendaya, some people find her extremely attractive, some people don't. I think she's a pretty girl and she's tall, so I mean, I'm typically like tall girls. But I think Zendaya has a little bit different look. I don't think she would be as appropriate. Also, I don't know, but is she Latina? I'm not sure whether she is or not, whether she's got like mixed background. Of course, I'm from Miami, so there's lots of people that have like Afro-Caribbean background. So I'm not sure what Zendaya's background is in terms of that. Ali Laundry, Doritos girl as Camille. Okay. I mean, I like Doritos. The nacho cheese Doritos are better in the United States than they are in Korea. They Koreanize them a little bit. So they're not as good. Can I shill something entirely unrelated to the show topic? Yes, see, Goody, you can do it. You can shill it as long as it's not like something naughty. You can do it, buddy. Ian Fawny says, Andrew, good to see you. Nick and based Boomer Joe survived post-trial drop-off. Hello to all the ladies in the chat. Simp-free zone. Yes, thank you, Ian. Yeah, look, here's the thing, guys. And there's 6,000 of you in the chat. Please smash that like button. And I know that some of you just want the depth information. I get it. But we're going to be around. We're going to be covering other topics, and I'm going to be covering so a little bit of other topics here today. At the end, I'm going to just pop in the other topics because we have other news to cover, and there's other things happening. I'm not just going to be covering it, Depp versus her for the next year, right? Now, I will be covering the pertinent things coming out and the pertinent updates, right? If there's something huge, I'm going to cover that because people want to hear about it, right? Because it's still very interesting. But there's other news that's happening right now. And your boy Legal Minds is going to cover it because we know the mainstream media is not covering it. And the point of my channel is to give you the news and the take that the mainstream media will never give you. Captain Dunsel says she is trying to salvage her career because she knows how she fucked up. Narcissists blame everyone, and just like Amber Heard believes everyone's lies. Yeah, believe everyone. Yep. And Amber Heard can only survive in an environment in which somebody is believing her lies. Once you stop believing her lies and once you call her out, she's done. That's it. It's over. Hannah says, what's up, Hannah? Scarlett Johansson as Amber, Kristen Stewart as Whitney. Ooh, yeah. Kristen Stewart's way more burnt out. She's definitely done the drugs. So I think that the Kristen Stewart part with Whitney is spot on. I mean, Kristen could just be high the entire time. I think that's fine. And I love James. I don't people give this shot to James, but James is a good guy. James has messaged me since we did our interview. He's messaged me behind the scenes. I actually like James. I think a lot of people have made James have like given James a bad rap. Like he's a young kid who's like trying to find his way in the world. He's trying to discover what he wants to do. Like I remember that point. I remember that point. In my life when I'm trying to figure out what to do, so I really respect James. I respect that he came to the space, and I respect that he donated his time. He really was unmonetized. He spent a bunch of time going out there and doing this, and he didn't get the money that everybody else did. So yeah, go over here, follow his channel. He's got his channel here, his Twitter. Follow James. He's a good guy. And I think that kid, he can have a good future. Oh, Pilot Girlfriend was, oh my God, I had a crush on this girl. Denise Richards. But that's like way in the back in the day. It's way back in the day. Like Denise Richards is like way, way, way back. Tall girls only, no heels allowed. No, I allow heels. Trust me, I allow heels. Always. All right. So let's show you without teasing you any longer. I'm not gonna put you through too much of the ringer here. I'm not gonna torture you. I just want you guys to to understand what's going on with the dynamic between the teams right now, because you have two teams, two entirely different stories. But importantly, you have this coming out, and this was from The Independent. This is news that just got out, and that is that Johnny Depp may drop the $8 million damages claim against Amber Heard if she stops appeal. So Ben Chu said it's never about the money. It's never about the money. And you know what? This is beautiful. And you saw them confirm this in their interviews. So Ben Chu, we can't disclose anything that goes against attorney-client privilege. What that means is that if their strategy, like they have a strategy to convince Amber to do something, and all they want is the truth to be out there. And if Amber Heard sits with this verdict, that they may agree to drop the damages claim, that's big. That's big. Because according to sources, Amber is broke as a joke. Is broke as a joke. So I think she could actually be motivated by this because she's that type of person. She's that type of like just lowest common denominator person. So I think this would be great if this happens. If Johnny Depp proves, unlike Amber, who's kept the divorce money, Johnny Depp proves I'm the bigger man. I'm willing to drop the claim if you literally just admit that you fucking did it. You just sit with the verdict. You don't appeal it. I think it's smart. I think it's real smart. I think this strategy is fucking brilliant. Is brilliant on the type of their team. And it's going to show that Johnny is the one who doesn't care about the money. Amber does. Johnny doesn't. It's the biggest fuck you to Amber you could possibly drop. I think this is a brilliant strategy on their team. To get some of these super chats here, Joe Sullivan says, the part of Amber Eve will be played by the women from Two Girls, One Cup. That would definitely make the scene memorable. Holy shit. Holy shit. That would be bad. Renee says, thought out Amber knew that her chemistry in Aquaman was a problem, as the execs said they were going to cut her. They told her agent. The op-ed was to save her role, which is why they timed it with the opening. Well, actually, Renee, if I go over here, let me just type in my good friend, that umbrella guy, right? So let's go down here to Tug. Oh, look, we follow each other. We're BFFs. No, Tug is my good friend. I like Tug. So right here, hold on, where is this at? What did Tug say? He had us here. Here we go. So according to this is on Tug's page. Rumor, according to an insider report, is that Amber Heard's screen time for her pivotal character is not 10 minutes, but 20 plus minutes, and that she'll see a power upgrade. Look at this. So someone said, hashtag I stand with Amber Heard, hashtag Aquaman 2, right? So Tug said, and I agree with this, and let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this. He said, honestly, I love to see Warner stick with Heard like Amber Heard simps want. Since everyone saw Johnny Depp's lawsuit, we can have a public conversation about how a female domestic abuser remained while her male victim was terminated. This, I think, would be a great conversation. Now, I don't want her to get the screen time because I think that'll be a bad message, but I see what he's saying about the conversation, right? And I do agree with him. He's like, you know, he's not going to give any money to them, right? He says, I'd rather set my money on fire than give it to Warner. I agree with that. I agree with that. I would definitely be of the same mind that I would rather set my money on fire than give it to them. By the way, I don't give my money to Disney or Marvel either. I would rather set my money on fire than go to another Star Wars movie, right? I'm not watching Kenobi, right? I'm not giving them money for their propaganda and their bullshit and their slander, right? It's just something I don't fund. Gamen NC says, you know I've been watching you a long ass time, dude. Very happy your chat is no longer a sausage fest plus Stormy. Guys, in the very beginning of my channel, I had a lot of dudes. It was like all dudes and like one chick. Now I've expanded. It's more diverse. I like this. I like to have the ladies in the chat. The ladies bring a different energy to the chat. And I can play off that pretty well. Monique says, quick hi, follower since you were under 1,000 subs. Found you through Hotep Jesus. Keep the good work. Monique, thank you so much. I appreciate the people that have been with me, my ride or die people that have been with me since the beginning. So you guys are much appreciated. Seriously. I mean, I can't say thank you enough, but seriously, thank you. Seriously. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Those people that have been around and have been doing this since the beginning. Kyle says Johnny may drop damages if Amber admits fault. Well, she doesn't have to admit fault. The fault she was already found, Kyle. So there's no finding of fault. The jury has already said that Amber is at fault here. All she has to do, according to that article, which, by the way, they haven't confirmed that. They haven't said for sure that's the thing. But it's still a good strategy, and it's implied in what they said. It's implied in what they said. It's implied that they might drop the suit, which I think is a good strategy. I think it's a great strategy. Seed Fan says, Josh Dumenhall as Rottenborn, Jennifer Lawrence as Amber, Shakira as Camille. Shakira. What is she going to be like doing a dance up there? Like after she owns Amber on Cross, she like does the hips don't lie. I mean, that would be that would be pretty hilarious. I mean, I would still pay to see that. Let me be very fucking clear about that. I would definitely pay to see that. All right. So let's move on to the next article here. I want to get over and make sure we're moving through this. And the next article, this is not Depp related, but this is something inspired by Johnny Depp. So defamation is trending right now. And other people are definitely going out and thinking about defamation suits. I've had people reach out to me. Hey, Andrew, should I sue for defamation? And one of those is a little gentleman here that we're going to share with you in a second. And let me answer this one. Hannah says Emily Blunt as Kate James, Amber's ex-assistant who testified against her, and Screech Ulrich as Johnny Depp. I've heard that one before. I think it's a good casting, actually. Dylan says, great move by Depp. Amber admits it was a lie and screws over what few fans she has left, as well as the ACLU. Or don't pay him $8 million. It's a big dick move. Yes, that is 100% big D energy on the part of Johnny Depp. And it's the point is that he's trying to get the truth out there, and he's trying to show that Amber was the abuser. And it owns everybody who's been standing for Amber from the beginning, has been saying, oh no, she's not a 2-bit, 50 Cent West Texas stripper. She's this moral person that we should believe. She's this person that should be believed no matter what, right? That's what a lot of people have been trying to say, trying to put Amber out as, but that's not Amber. Amber is somebody who is a liar. And we've seen that she is a liar. 100%. So appreciate that. Appreciate that, Dylan. All right. Okay. Defamation. This guy is going for defamation. Some of you may have heard of him. His name's Kyle Rittenhouse. So Kyle Rittenhouse is going after Facebook. He's going for a defamation lawsuit. So saying he was inspired by Johnny Depp, Rittenhouse is moving ahead with his own defamation lawsuits. He's got multiples. At least 10. See, here's the thing, guys, and this is truthful for Depp too. See, after the Rittenhouse decision, right? There were multiple outlets that continued to spread lies, right? So we have a verdict decision. And this is a good, these cases are very comparable because people are going to continue to defame Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp is going to get to pick and choose who he sues. It's not efficient to sue everybody, but it is efficient to sue the largest people. So this is what he's looking at. It's against prominent figures and companies. See, it's not against poor people. You're not going to sue the professor at Stanford that spends all its money on, outfits to look like Hillary. I really don't know. You're going to sue prominent corporations that have a bunch of money. You need to make sure it's a practical lawsuit. And it's against, like I said, a large defendant. Whom to sue, when to sue, where to sue. Important facts. Because depending on what state you sue in, defamation can be a lot larger. So this shows that, hey, he's going to go forward with it. And by the way, I think he's going to win a lot of his claims. I think Kyle will actually win his claims because people are talking shit. People are 100% talking shit. And this is a good template for all the cases out there where you're getting the mainstream media lying about what happened. In Kyle's case, and some of you may not have followed that, some of you are new to the channel. In Kyle's case, even afterwards, they were saying stuff like he brought a gun across state lines. That's a lie, right? That African Americans were shot. That's a complete lie. Everybody was white, right? I mean, things that are just completely not true. And they continue to parrot them and say them. And at a certain point, it becomes criminal. Just like with Johnny Depp, with people coming out there, if they're saying he's a domestic or sexual abuser, that's now defamation in the United States. To say that Johnny Depp is an abuser is defamation in the United States per se. So for a mainstream media outlet to come out there and say that Johnny Depp is defaming somebody, that has been proven, hey, that is defamation. That's defamation. So hopefully Johnny Depp takes those cases. Captain Nelson says, those that can't do teach, my opinion of professors. It's true. Hey, Captain, that's actually true. I think it's like A students become judges or whatever. That's the rumor. B students become B students become professors, C students become lawyers, right? And C, everybody else becomes lawyers. It's because the C students end up doing better, right? Because they end up knowing the actual practice of the law, right? So they get made fun of in law school because, oh, you didn't get the grades. But it's like, well, at the end of the day, you're making the money, you're doing the work, you end up knowing the law a lot better. Catherine Bangle says, if Amber Heard homeowners insurance is paying legal fees, where's her wealth? She doesn't have any. That's why Elaine Bredhoff said that Amber does not have the money, that Amber's broke. So I'm believing Elaine on that one. That's the only thing I'll believe Elaine on. That's the only thing I'll believe Elaine is that Amber is fucking broke. That Amber has no money whatsoever. I'll believe that. Jen, I think the judge, we said like Rick Moranis. I mean, or like whoever. Gosh, there's a couple others too. Vanessa Hudgens as Camille. Ooh, I could see that. Jason Alexander plays George on Seinfeld. Zoomer. No, I know. I know Jason Alexander is, but I don't know whether he's got enough like squattiness. Like maybe. I think he's more like round than squat. Like Hogue has a very specific facial shape. Yeah, I can't think of it right now. But Dennis Evans. The worst thing about this, if true, is that Amber Heard and Elaine Bredhoff will probably try to take credit for focusing this decision with EB's PR shit. Yeah, I think they'll try to, but frankly, if she's stuck with that decision and she cannot appeal, she agrees not to appeal it, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. Real good. I mean, I think that's be the best possible outcome because then they're stuck with the truth. They've got the truth, and that's all they've got. Brian Allman says C students do better because they know how to fight to survive and how to ask for help. I say this as an engineer, I got straight C's in college. Yeah, in high school, I got C's and B's because I refused to do homework. I literally told the teachers, I said, homework is just busy work. Like you're just trying to keep us busy. It's not measuring whether we learn anything or not. Unless I'm like, fuck homework, I'm not doing it. And that's why I like college and I like law school because there's only a final exam. And it's like, okay, show me you know it or you don't know it. I'm okay with that. And I studied hard for my final exams. But when you're like, okay, here's some busy work, it's like the real life doesn't have busy work. There's just work, right? There's shit that needs to get done. Can you do it or not? I'm okay with that because that's the real life standard. Can you do the work or can you not do the work? At the end of the day, when the shit hits the fan, can you do it, right? I bet Elaine got straight A's. I bet Elaine was an A student. But guess what? When it came down to it, Elaine, when it was put up or shut up, Elaine flopped like a pleading mackerel. Magic Medit says, admission of guilt for $3 million, discount. I don't think they can give a discount. I think they have to waive the entire thing. I don't think they can discount it. I do not think they can discount it. So just so you know, I don't think they can come to a deal on it. I think they can say like, hey, we're going to waive it or not waive it, right? I'm an autodidact that makes six figures since I was in my 20s. Nice, awesome. Like literally, I completely support folks who are avoiding college, teaching themselves, and making a lot of money since they're young. I don't think you need to go to 9-10 years of college and become a lawyer to make money. You say, I should play Rottenborn? Fuck that. Hell no, I'm not playing Rottenborn. Not happening. My dog stepped on a bee. Hey, what's up? My dog stepped on a bee. OnlyFans is the always hiring one company that sticks behind Amber Heard no matter what. What these 304's whole extortion backfired on her. Yep. She got backfired on 100%. Her own strategy backfired on her of lying. Sweetheart says, is this a continuation of Amber calling herself a victim defamation after trial? No. So she's allowed to call herself a victim because you can be like a moral victim or whatever else. Like she can make up some bullshit about victim, like victim in a non-legal sense, but you can't accuse someone else of a crime. She could call herself a victim, I think, but she'd say, oh, I'm using it in the colloquial sense. She could probably get away with that. As long as she doesn't say that she's a victim of Johnny or a victim of domestic abuse or a victim of sexual abuse. If she says that, then she's a problem. If she says, I'm just a victim in general, she can probably get away with that. She shouldn't be able to. It's a mischaracterization, but I'm saying like legally. I'm being honest with you, right? I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. And this isn't the mainstream media. We don't fluff you up for no reason. You're not going to like some of the things I'm going to say on this channel, but I'm going to say them. UK Judge Nichols' son works for a radio station connected to the Sun. He's friends with Rupert Murdoch. Was the UK trial totally corrupt? Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Let me see if I can pull it up here in a second, because a lot of you guys sent this to me. It was like the most sent thing that was sent to me, the Sun trial chart. I've got it. Do not send it to me right now. Let's see. It is like this trial chart. Here it is. I got it. This is the one that I think almost all of you have seen. As soon as I pull it up, you guys are going to know what it is. Many of you have seen this chart, so don't groan. But this is like the 19th time I've shown it, but I'll show it one more time because I love you guys. And I want to show you the UK trial and how crazy it was. So here's the UK trial, right? We can zoom in a little bit here. I think that might be a little helpful, right? So here's Judge Andrew Nichols, right? So apparently he was employed by Doughty. How do you say this, UK guys? Doughty Street Chambers, which sponsors Sasha Wass, who's a lawyer for Dan Wooten, right? And I guess fighting Johnny Depp, right? And, obviously Dan Wooten wrote the article that was published in The Sun, which refers to Amber Heard, who went to a private party. So Amber Heard went to a party with Baroness Helena and with Jen Robinson, right? And they hosted Catherine Letty, who used to be married to Joffrey Robinson, who wrote a book about the law with Judge Nichols, right? So these guys are connected. So this husband here is connected, or this former husband is connected, right? Then you've got this appearance, this photo right here, which took place at the judge's former employer, right? So this is how incestuous this was, right? This is a very incestuous. And then, of course, he is married to Camilla Parker, right? And boom, you got Robert Palmer here. Palmer works at Talk Radio, which is owned by Wireless Group, which is owned by News Corp, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch, which owns The Sun. So this is all Murdoch, right? So you get where this is going, guys. You see how corrupt this was? Yeah. That's the UK. That's the UK trial. That's the UK trial. Very, very convoluted. And that's why a lot of people, even in the UK, are asking to open it. And by the way, guys, a lot of you, I want to say this real quick. A lot of you told me to reach out to Black Belt Barrister, the UK lawyer. A lot of you messaged me privately. I have reached out to him. So I sent him my availability. I said that I will be able to do something with him on the UK trial. I gave him two options. I said Sunday or next Wednesday when I'll be back in Korea. Sunday, I'm not sure how my Wi-Fi is going to be. So I would honestly prefer if he says Wednesday, but I'll do it if I have to on Sunday. The Wi-Fi quality may not be great. As you guys know, I'm still in Texas. I'm in a hotel. You can see the hotel right here. I got the nice kitchen in the background. This is not my apartment, right? This is not my normal spot in Korea. Still in Texas. So I would prefer to do it next week, but I have reached out to him. I look forward to collaborating with him and talking about the UK trial. I know he started a petition to reopen the UK trial. Karine says, Heart Your Channel, you're a relatable lawyer, the one that we can have a beer and talk shit with. Yes, exactly. On my channel, we try to have fun, right? If you don't like having fun, if you're like, oh, no, I don't like your objectification and I don't like your cursing and you have a potty mouth, then get the fuck out of here. And with all due respect, right? And I don't care if you unsubscribe, if you don't like me or whatever else. I think that all 6,500 of you right now would leave if you wanted to, right? You get the hell out of here. You go watch somebody else, because there's other people out there, there's other law tubers that have tame milquetoast takes that aren't going to offend grandma. But you know what? I've had some based motherfucking grandmas that are coming on here and being like, I'm a grandma, I have 4 kids, and I fucking love your content. So who knows, right? Who knows? Shout out to all the grandmas out there. I love you, Granny. Love you, Granny. Stay based. My dog stepped on a bee. I said, I'm glad the camera was on trial. Imagine if MSN slanted the coverage thanks to you guys covering. Amber Heard does not represent all women abused. She represents the worst of women and mega liars. Yes. And by the way, I know some people out there have said, oh, Andrew, you're saying all women. I have never said all women. All I've said is there are other women like Amber Heard. Amber Heard is not the only woman who acts like that. And there are men who act like that too. It's not a gender specific thing. However, the issue is, the gender issue is that many pretty women like Amber Heard, especially pretty women in Hollywood, are allowed to get away with fucking murder. They're allowed to get away with whatever they want. They're allowed to lie and lie and lie. A lot of beautiful women are Amber Heards, and they're allowed to get away with it. Now, eventually, when they smash up against the wall, or they're caught, or there's some, they're called to question, they can be held accountable, but not at the same rate. If the genders were flipped on this, there wouldn't even be a case. If Amber was a dude and Johnny was a woman, this would not even be a case. Wouldn't even be out there. And let's not joke about it. Right? Let's not pretend that this would have been a case if this was the other way around. Galloway says, say hello, Amanda. Well, hello, Amanda. How are you doing, Amanda? Hope you're doing well, Amanda. I see somebody question, who's the daddy of her child? Well, the thought is Elon. The thought is Elon. But there's no proof. But that would explain some of the Elon simping. Although I actually don't think it is actually him, because I think he was just paying for hitting it, paying for smashing. Because if it was the kid, then maybe he'd be paying more right now. Thank you, Caramel Bonbon, for that $3 super sticker. And Savi, thank you for being a new subscriber. I appreciate that. All right. There's one more thing I want to cover. It's thank you. Also, Pretty Nikki says, I love you and your potty mouth. I appreciate that. That you guys appreciate me. You appreciate me. Thank you so much. All right. So let me cover one last thing I want to cover. This is news. This is not Amber Heard related. Oh my God, it's crazy. But I want to cover this as an attack on the justice system, and something I don't support, and something I have to get out here and talk about, which is the people outside of Brett Kavanaugh's house. This is something that I just want to report on. This is U.S. news. So I know you guys who are Kiwis who are out there, you may say, why is this relevant to me? Well, let me tell you why. So this is a criminal's complaint. There's a suspect that was arrested outside of the home of one of our Supreme Court justices, Justice Kavanaugh, right? The guy had a gun. They were mad about the decision that was potentially coming up, the leak over the case that may overturn Roe v. Wade, and they threatened to come kill Kavanaugh and then himself. And that's what the guy said he was going to do. And here's the thing. There were members of the mainstream media that were literally calling for people to go outside their house and to try to yell at them and scare them and intimidate them. I think this is disgusting. I also think it's illegal under the law to do that, to intimidate a justice, try to get them to change their opinion. And I think this is a threat to our democracy. So I am fully against people going outside and trying to picket and trying to intimidate judges. That's illegal. It's a crime in the United States. Some people are trying to say, no, it's First Amendment. No, it's not. You're not allowed to intimidate a judge. And this applies to any case. And here's the thing about the rule of law, guys. It applies when you like the decision and when you don't like the decision. You have to believe in it both ways. You can't just say, okay, I'm only going to believe in the rule of law. I'm only going to believe in it when I like the outcome, when I agree with the politics. You can't do that. You have to say, no matter what the scenario is, I agree with the rule of law, us believing in the justice system being fair. Because the second that judges are intimidated by social media and the mob, we lose a valid system. Our system is mob rule. And mob rule is something that we do not want in civilized society. And I just want to bring out that out there, that this is disgusting. And it's something that's been brought on by people who disrespect, who don't appreciate our judicial system and don't appreciate that separation that the rule of law brings us. My dog stepped on a bee says, if you're into psychologist POV of Amber Heard, and Dr. Spiegel, armchair psychologist on YouTube, has a good perspective on the crazy doc and Amber Heard. All the misandry after this. Yeah, it was a lot of misandry. There's a lot of misandry. There's a lot of men hate. Misandry is a word that not a lot of you people know, not a lot of people in general know. And misandry, people know misogyny, right? Oh, men hating women is misogyny. Not a lot of people know misandry is when women hate on men, right? Is the hate of men. And you saw that a lot on Amber Heard's side. They were pushing misandry. And look, I don't believe in misandry or misogyny either. I believe men and women are different. We are biologically different. but we are complementary and we work together. We're better together than we are apart, right? I believe that men and women are better together than they are apart. That's not my legal opinion. It's my personal opinion. It's my personal view. I think that's crazy, right? But I think that's supported by millions of years of evidence of men and women living and working together, right? We've always been working together. Why are we trying to fight each other? It's ridiculous. It's preposterous to be fighting each other as genders. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it's literally ridiculous. So let's understand we both have relative strengths and weaknesses, right? You know, we're physically stronger generally, right? I'm not stronger than every woman, but I'm stronger than the average woman, right? You know, but it's like, okay, but women are better at spotting lies, right? That these are comparative advantages. Let's just acknowledge that. Hey, that's true. And we'll move on from there. Won't she face anything for perjury? Well, so there are perjury charges that have been brought. However, do I think they are likely to go forward? No, I don't. I do not think they are likely to go forward. I don't think they're likely to actually get the charges. The problem is it's very difficult to get an actual conviction on perjury in a case like this, especially with a prominent witness. It's just not going to happen. Now, she might get it in the UK, in Australia. That's something I've talked about. I talked about Geordie over the UK. I'll obviously bring that up with Black Belt Barrister when I talk to him. I will definitely bring that up whenever I talk with Australians. I had Jahan on. He thought that, yes, perjury is possible, but it's not a great case in Australia. He didn't think the facts supported it too much. But, I mean, there's people who disagree with that. There's people who say, hey, maybe there's a better case there. So I think in the U.S. it's going to be tough. By the way, I give that shout out to the grannies. Granny here, 5 kids. Look at that. Boom. Boom. So we got the grannies in the house. So yes, shout out to all the grannies. Gilfs need love too. Grandmas for legal mindset. I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm a grandma. Love you, kid. Hey, love you too, grannies. Love you too. I love you too. Love you all. Love all of you, really. But the grannies get my special love here because the grannies are like, the grannies that watch my channel are like extra cool. Extra cool. Let's go here and see what else we got. God, you guys should make me crack up today. My dog stepped on a BS. I enjoy with RP content with Rolo do more of it. I've had Rolo on a lot of times. If you want to watch that content, I've had him on a lot of times. Go back and watch that content with him. I like to have a lot of different people on. Maybe people you haven't heard their opinion before. So I'll have all sorts of people on, including people who have a different perspective, right? Including people who advocate for men, who say, hey, maybe men have gotten a short shaft here, right? Let's consider that. I'm not saying let's make that our sole political point. That's all we're talking about. This is not a he-man woman haters, channel, but let's talk facts, right? Let's get down to the facts and the realities of the problems that men face. And one of the serious problems that men face, we've seen that in this trial, is they don't believe us when we say we've been abused. If I was to come forward and say I've been abused, people wouldn't believe me because I'm a man. That's not right. Underrated takes this entire episode. Keep pushing the truth. 100%, man. I'm never going to stop. I can't stop, won't stop the truth. Going to keep pushing it till I'm in the dirt. My dog stepped on a bee says, I think Amber Heard had some dirt on mollusk. You heard Stanford law professor shaming Camille on Twitter. Wow, that lady is saying stuff for the whole world. Her true colors all but her. Yes, I showed that last night. It is ridiculous what that professor was saying. So check out my last episode if you want to see what this professor was saying. It's disgusting. And it's this person, which says they support women, is really just out there attacking women. Said vile things about Camille Vasquez, vile things about her and other women who end up working as lawyers. It's disgusting. Mark Martin said, hey, Andrew, what's the update on another blonde from Texas who stabbed the African guy in Miami? Oh, was it the OnlyFans guy? So, you know what? Sorry, Mark. Why don't you send me this article? So send it to me. Say that this is Mark Martin on either Twitter, so at The Legal Mindset. So if you have articles for me, send them to at The Legal Mindset on Twitter, or you can send them to my Instagram, Esquire International. So send them to either one. I will check them out. I will look at them. I appreciate that much. Appreciate that much. Rose says, this Nana loves Andrew's channel, even his potty mouth, because he has brilliance coming out. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Thank you, Rose. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you guys coming together to make this community, because it's a community that makes the channel able to grow and able to thrive, right? That's what makes the channel great, right? Not just good, but fucking great. All right. People say Vasquez. Yes, Vasquez. Vasquez. Did I say it differently? I said Vasquez. So anyways, Camille, my favorite senorita. Oh, Grandma of 2, Mom of 3. Love the from out of you. Okay, I'll take that too. Thank you for the super sticker as well. I think I've gotten all the love. See, Goody says, I love grannies and cougars, and they love him right back. There you go. Kevin says, I heard a lawyer on another channel say that in the civil case, the bond for the appeal is only $500. No, it's more than that. I think you got to put up at least 10%. I do not think it's only $500, but tell me who said that. I mean, maybe if they know the jurisdiction, but I think Rob said it was going to be more. So, and he practiced in that jurisdiction, but maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about either, because I don't know whether Rob does appeals. So I don't know who actually knows what they do. I mean, frankly, I'm not even sure what Law and Lumber does, because I've heard that he does like 6 million different things. So I don't actually know. And I don't know the guy. I haven't interviewed him. He hasn't reached out to me. So, whatever. But yeah. So if somebody knows, then they know. But I don't think it's 500. I think it's more than that. I think it's 10% typically for an appeal. My dog stepped on a bee says, I would love to see Kevin Samuels RIP or Jordan Peterson's POV to have a guest on You of the Trial. Well, I'm not going to summon the dead ghost of Kevin Samuels, but by the way, I did get to meet Kevin Samuels. He was a good guy. He was a great guy. He actually wanted to help women, and he wanted to help them, understand men and understand what they're looking for in a woman. He just did it in his own way, but not a lot of people liked. But if I could get Jordan Peterson on, I'd definitely have him on. Cap Dunsel says, as many men were taught never to hit a woman unless death is imminent. Yeah, I mean, I was taught don't hit women, but also I was taught to defend yourself. And here's the thing. Nowadays, especially in the United States, I've seen the trend of a lot of women that feel the need to beat on men. And frankly, if someone's beating on me, I'm going to defend myself. Like if someone punched me in the face, like I don't care whether, you want equality, right? You want equal laws. If someone is punching me in the face with a closed fist, I'm not going to like sit there and take it. I'm not, look, I don't believe in turn the other cheek in that scenario. I believe in defending myself. So if someone is hitting me or punching me, like they better be ready for the fucking thunder, right? So corrections. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You now got access to the emojis, the Andrew, the Adam, the toilet paper, the soju, the cat girl, the vampire girl, and many other emojis that I'm going to have coming in a bit. Actually got an artist cranking out other emojis. So it should be pretty good. Pip Thespian says, love the fuck out of y'all. Okay. Thank you so much. And I'll say it because it's my channel. I can say whatever the fuck I want. By the way, someone says Law and Lumber does civil cases. Okay, there you go. But appeals are different. Typically, you have different appeal counsel. So you typically, in what's up now, by the way, corrections in my members, I try to catch your chats. If we're like slow on supers, I try to catch the members' chats. So thank you for that. I have not seen the professor tweet about her daughter. No, I have not seen that one. Maybe I should check that real quick. I can try to look that up. Let me make sure I'm caught up here. Mama says, I'm dumb. What is the difference between impeachment and perjury consequences? The $500K per day or 8.3 million judgment. Thanks for all you do. Okay, this is actually a good one. So, okay, here's the difference between perjury and impeachment. Impeachment is a process that you do on the stand. So on the stand, you go through a process of making someone look like a liar. So what Camille did is she impeached Amber Heard. So she ended up finding what Camille said and showing that it was a lie. That's impeachment. Impeachment is the process by which on the stand in the courtroom, you turn them into a liar. You out them as a liar. Now, this is confusing because I know in the United States, we have trials for impeachment for the president, but understand that just remove the president stuff. When you're thinking about impeachment, remove the president stuff. That's like unique. It's on its own. impeachment in general in trial means the process by which you're showing they're a liar. There's actually no penalty for that. All you're doing is destroying their credibility in front of the jury. Perjury is a crime. Now, there has to be somebody submitting the crime, right? Now, the police could just file it, right? Someone could just file it at the police department and say, hey, there's evidence here that we have this person lied. They can do that for sure. But it usually takes someone filing. Like Adam Wallman filed a perjury claim in LA against Rocky Pennington and against Amber Heard. Do I think that's going to go anywhere? Probably not. But he filed it. So the difference is the punishment. Perjury can be punished by pretty severe punishments. You can get jail time for perjury. So understand that. Just understand that. See, here's the thing. Okay, yeah, I see you guys confusing me. Somebody's saying Rob is a divorce lawyer. So divorce, civil, like that's different stuff. Like a family divorce litigation. Okay, but like that's like that's a lot of stuff. So civil. So he's not really a civil attorney. So civil means like civil really means when we talk about it, it means like not family law and not criminal law. Like family law is kind of different. So if he does divorces, then good on him. Good on him for that. That's really high conflict. So Salty Mexican says, was at work at night for 12 hours, had Nick and now home, and your live was great today. Can I go back to Korea with you? Love LMFAO, love your channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. This is going to be the time when I stream. So for all those people that are up late at night, that are like up late, I'm going to be on this time. I'm going to be on after Nick Recated comes off typically. So I'll be kind of jumping on after Nick jumps off, or maybe I'll overlap when he's reading super chats. I'm going to try to start pretty consistently, but I'll be home. Right. And if anybody wants to visit Korea, I sent this invitation out. I know I had a Meme Copium on his channel saying he wants to come to Korea. And I said, yeah, sure. I'll get you some soju. Don't worry about it. But yeah, if anybody is in Korea, let me know. I will come have a drink with them. If you're in Korea, if you happen to be in Korea. In the US, I'm always running around trying to catch people. My doc's something to be said. Can you remember any time someone won a defamation trial like this? I can't remember. Used her own words on her. Great lawyer, Camille. Yeah, that was 100% a alpha attorney move to use her own words against her. Screenshot of tweet token within 49 seconds. Sus. Oh, well, there you go. That's pretty quick. That's a pretty quick screenshot. Let's see, make sure I got all you guys here. Pip, welcome to the membership. Appreciate that. You got access to the emojis, and I will try to call you out when I can. If I can. When I can. All right, guys. I think I got everybody here. So listen, I wanted to keep this one fairly short here. Nothing crazy. I will be back again. I don't know when tomorrow. I'm going to try to have one tomorrow, but I'm going to a new location. So today it is in the United States right now. It is Thursday in the U.S. So I am traveling Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. And then my flight is on Monday. I don't get really back till Tuesday. So listen, guys, I'm going to do the first possible show I can when I'm back in Korea. This will be my time permanently. But since I'm traveling, I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to stream at this exact time every single day. So I'm going to try to stream tomorrow at this time. Cross my fingers, right? I will try to set it. It might be 7. It might be 8 a.m. CST. Who knows? I'm going to try to stream around this time, but I'll be back to a normal time in Korea. Guys, thank you so much for coming out. And let me get this one last super chat, which says, Terry Clark says, Professor tweeted about female lawyers, not the daughters. It was horrible. Yes, that was Michelle Dauber. She was horrible. She's a horrible person. I covered this last night. I'm going to show her Twitter, which is here. She had some nasty comments about Camille. Really, really horrible. Honestly, she's already deleted a lot of the comments here. But she's just absolutely a disgusting person. And she tries to paint Johnny, by the way, as a racist. She tries to say that it's racist, that, anti-women, anti-black. Once again, this is what they're trying to say, that if you're supporting Depp, you're racist, you're black, and she's having all these people who are kind of messaging her nasty things. And look, some of them may be real, but they also could be fake people messaging her. Horrible, horrible person. So anyways, I don't support her that at all. I covered that yesterday. Not going to cover her more because she's not worth more of my time. Kevin says, lawyer Robert Byrne pointed to Virginia law 8.01676, effective that says a bond in a civil case appeal is now $500. Okay, well, there you go. I believe it. I believe it. If I came to Korea, could you email a time schedule we can party and do drugs, shrooms, weed, coke? Okay, drugs are banned in Korea. My dog stepped on a bee. So we can do a lot of alcohol. We can get very drunk. But that is the only drug that can enter your body is some alcohol. That being said, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Stay based. I'll catch you next